everyone, welcome to special presentation with Mike and Ethan. Or
Alf will not be seen tonight. Going heavy on the vocal fry.
oh yeah, Alf will not be seen tonight.
Alf will not.
I remember when my husband died. Anyway, speaking of embarrassing family moments like your husband dying, Mike, have you ever had to? Did you ever go through the childhood rite of passage that is getting a family photo taken, where you have to wear the starched shirt and put on a really sweet kind of smile that's not really relevant to your actual personality?
Did I? That was like an annual thing.
An annual thing, really? You had the every year family photos in the hallway.
Yes, we had a lot of family photos. I remember because all of them might have the little white. That's the little white shirt with a tie, and the bowl haircut. My little brother turned out really good though because he had a three-piece suit. He had a tiny little three-piece suit, and he would be. And then we have this one family photo where he's there and he's got his hands just shoved in his pockets and he's making this incredibly self-satisfied face, like he just like he just closed.
Okay. Well, now imagine if your family had to do a superhero movie every year.
Oh, I would die of embarrassment.
That sure is what the movie that we looked at this week is like.
That is a very good description of it because this week we watched The Fan Four Stick.
Yes.
Uh,
Well, actually, last week Mike watched it, and then this week I watched it.
yeah, and I did not rewatch it, so my memory is now it's lost eons of time. I'll remember it though; it'll come back to me. Uh, but it was such an interesting and exciting film with so much stuff happening in it to really hold your interest. So of course, it's not like I forgot it.
It was such a fascinating movie with so many intricacies to the plot that how could they not give it the Razzie for worst movie and worst director?
Did it receive the Razzie for worst
I
film and worst
think it
director?
did actually. Hang on a second.
I'm surprised that the judges of the Razzie Awards were able to remember this movie long enough to give it the award.
It's well. Let's see. Let's see. On the review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, 9% over 250 critics' reviews are positive. And yeah, I
Well,
can see that. I mean, the other one is kind of corny. This one is so terrified that it'll be corny that it doesn't include anything good.
it's this is from when superhero movies got serious. This
I
is
think they wanted to make like the Dark Knight Returns for the Fantastic Four. It's just not like that. The Fantastic Four
no.
is bright and colorful and great big beautiful tomorrow. It is, it is not, the kind of thing where somebody huddles in their blanket, struggling to relearn to breathe, and vows vengeance on whoever did this to them.
Yeah, the Fantastic Four. It's a media franchise about four people who go into space and space
No, not
rays.
space. Space is old news. People don't like space anymore. Now they go into another dimension.
Oh, that's right. They go to another dimension. It's not space. It's another dimension. It's the multiverse because of course it is. It's multiverse time, people. We're gonna do the multiverse shit.
I mean, multiverse stuff is. I mean, it's a lot of fun if you can, if you can do it right. But this is like going into an alternate universe where there's nothing. Boring.
Yeah, it's real boring. I don't think we can emphasize just how boring this movie is. I thought the Fantastic Fan Four Stick movie was pretty boring last week. Well, when I saw it 20 years ago, I thought it was pretty boring. In fact, it stands out in my memory. I don't remember a lot of movies 20 years later, but this one does stand out in my memory as being especially boring. Possibly the second most boring movie that I have seen in my life after Ang Lee's The Hulk.
Wow. But both of them Marvel movies. Well,
Yes.
I gotta say, the most boring movie that I've ever seen in my life was, oh, shit, what was it called? It was so boring, I forgot the name.
Oh, that sounds real dull.
God damn it. It was from the director of A Scanner Darkly.
Oh, is it Waking Life?
Waking Life. Oh my god, that movie bored the shit out of me. I never walk out of a movie, but I walked out of of Waking Life.
Wow, I have heard that movie is boring. I have heard that movie is very, very boring. Um,
My
but
usual description of it is like, okay, go to Starbucks and find a first-year sociology student and ask them to describe what, the thing that we should just be doing to make the world a better place. And while they're doing that, wave a frosted shower door in front of their face. That is what happens in Waking Life, basically.
but while that might be bad, I think one good thing about Waking Life is we can credit it for really bringing, starting Alex Jones's career, and he's really gone places.
He was in Waking Life? Oh my god.
I believe he was one of the people they had. I think Waking Life was what is let's ask 50 different random people about philosophy or something. And I think
you're right. Yeah,
Alex
he's
Jones
there.
is one of them.
So is Steven
Yeah.
Soderbergh and Richard Linklater. Oh, well, he's the director, so of course.
Yeah. Wow. What a world. What a world. Anyway, I guess maybe one of these days I should watch Waking Life because I'm curious what Alex Jones had to say. Considering that I don't really take Alex Jones as a man of deep philosophical convictions. Considering that he's just he just says things that get him money.
Yeah.
He's not a man with any sort of core. It's not like he's a true believer, even in the shit he says. He's just what if if I can get money from tormenting Sandy Hook kids, then I'll do it. Oh, that's a pretty good Alex Jones impression.
Yeah, it is.
It's not really. Oh, is it? Thank you. Good. I should have been in Waking Life. Anyway, I've heard it's very
better
boring.
with you, yeah.
It would have been. I would liven that show up. That's for sure. So yeah, Waking Life sounds very boring. Fantastic Four with the Sticks, also pretty boring.
I forgot to do the joke that I was going to start with.
Oh, sorry. I interrupted you. What's the joke?
Oh, the joke I was going to start out with was because I didn't see Fant Four Stick last time, I watched it this week, and it was very different than I was expecting. I mean, it still had the 3 guys and 1 girl, but now it was about matching the girl up with one of the guys, and it was all a musical, and Teller was there. For those of you just joining us, this is referring to the movie The Fantastics, based on the Broadway musical.
That's a very different story.
Yes.
But so for those of you who are just joining us, you may not remember that what happened last week was we were both supposed to watch Fantastic Four Stick, but for some bizarre reason, the link the link gave Ethan Fantastic Four Stick, but it gave me the Fantastic Four 2015.
Yeah, I got Fantastic Four 2005. Mike got Fantastic Four 2015. So
a very weird chat roulette type situation.
Yeah,
Who knows
I don't know what happened, but
there?
this is what happens when we try to sneak our way into not having to pay for these things. Okay, Disney, you got us. Yeah.
Well, I feel like information wants to be free, and we shouldn't have to pay for it because I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's my philosophical conviction.
I think if video game developers want to be paid better, too bad. I got your game now. What you gonna do now?
Yeah. In fact, I think my philosophy is, what's in it for me? It's done pretty well for me so far. Oh, anyway.
Yes,
so
something for nothing.
It's free real estate. Anyway, so the Fantastic Four. Ethan, so now that you've seen both Fantastic Four films, how would you rate them? Do you have a preference between these two?
I think the 2005 one is better, actually. I
Hmm.
mean, the visual effects are, I guess, a little more impressive in 2015, but it's, you know 2005 is closer to the feeling of an optimistic future, while this one, like I said, it feels like it's like, do I have to make a superhero movie? All right, but I won't call them superheroes, and they're not going to wear the uniforms, and I'm not going to let not and they're never going to use the names, and
Yeah.
it's like, can and they're only going to use the catchphrases in casual conversation. It's that Surf Dracula thing.
Mm. Yeah. I also felt like Fantastic Four 2015, and I don't know how to describe this, but the vibe, it felt very different because, like I said, 2005, it was still kind of optimistic. It was, and 2015, it wasn't that it was pessimistic, but it reflected a world where I felt like was much more constrained by the powers that be. It felt much more like this is the beginning of the kind of modern fascist surveillance state,
Yeah.
PR program that we're seeing so much, where now every movie has to have the stamp of approval of like the military and include a bit where it says like interested, click here to see more,
Yeah.
service is citizenship or whatever. And I'm it's very like it's in 2015, that was still kind of in its infancy. We should have strangled it in the crib, but we didn't. So look
Hmm.
where we are now. But it is there. There's a feeling there, and I feel like it's only gotten worse with the superhero movies that you see now.
Yes.
Like when you started seeing like Batman versus Superman, where later on, where it's literally just feels like it's an army recruitment ad. This was kind of the beginning of that kind of feeling.
I mean, it's very strange because you'd think that CGI would make us able to use like plane designs and stuff, and have and not be dependent on the army for equipment, but we still do it anyway.
Well, I think it's so much easier when the army is just giving you money because
Uh,
I mean the how much of the American budget goes to the military? Like
all of it.
80%, all of it. Yeah, that's why we can't have nice things. So instead, you have to go beg the army for it. In fact, we should just be like, oh God, yeah. I just was like, yeah, they are going to make services citizenship, isn't it? Aren't they? They're just
Hmm.
going to do
I
that.
mean, that's why the
Okay.
army is such a big part of fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, that's right. They put him in Sonic the Hedgehog, didn't they?
And I mean, that's why the very next toy movie they made after Transformers was Battleship.
God, I can't believe they made a Battleship movie.
And they're very really struggling to tie it in with the board games. Like, okay, the bombs that attach themselves to the battleship from the alien ships, they're shaped just like the pegs from the board game. You see, buy the toy.
Oh my God, I can't believe they put aliens in that. It's like, I'm sorry, the Battleship. It's so easy to make a Battleship movie. Well, first of all, it's a dumb idea for a movie, but if you're gonna make it, you make it like GI Joe.
Yeah.
You just do that. It's GI Joe, but on the ocean. Duh. Amateurs.
Yes.
Anyway, um, Fantastic Four. Um, we get the same four guys as in 2005, but they're different.
Yes. The one difference that they've made is that now Sue and Johnny are still siblings, but now Sue is the adopted white daughter of a black man.
Yeah, that's interesting, and
Yeah.
tell and
I
they
don't have
could
a
still do
problem
that.
with it, especially since Franklin Storm was not a major part of the previous movie.
Yeah. This is, of course, 2015, where you could still do stuff like that. Now, I believe it is illegal. It is woke, and the police
Basically,
have
yeah,
been
at this point,
called. They're on their way now.
any role that you give to a black person, they have to make sure that there was absolutely no possible white person that could have played it first.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that would be affirmative action, and that would be reverse racism, and that's not fair. Anyway, God, what a fucking dumbass country we live in. It's so stupid. Even stupider than it was in 2015 when they made this movie. So, yes, Franklin Storm, he is a black guy. He has a black son who's Johnny Storm, and he's a white daughter who is adopted from what, Sarajevo, I think she said? So I
Yeah,
guess she.
interesting
I guess if
choice.
I assume in 2015 they were like, oh, okay, she's what, like about 20. We could assume she was adopted as a baby right after the Yugoslav war. I assume the dates work out for that. I'm not. I don't really remember. Was the Yugoslav war still going in like?
In like 2000 or like
That seems a little
1995?
late. I think 2000 was a little
I think it
after.
would still be going on for a while. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, in any case, I'm no historian, and I am not going to look it up because
Because you're not a historian.
because I'm not a historian. What am I going to do? Look it up, and the AI is going to tell me a lie?
Yeah.
Whatever. Let's just assume that they were. I assume that they came. They. I assume the implication is she's supposed to be a war orphan.
Yeah.
Because why else would you pick
Well,
that
let's look it
country?
up. Was the Yugoslavic war, concluded by 1995? It says yes, it was concluded due to the heroic actions of Gargamel and Azrael.
Hey, good for them. They're fine. We owe them. We owe them such a debt. Have you ever heard of the Bruce Lee statue in Mostar? I think.
I think I have, but tell me again.
Well, supposedly after the conclusion of the Yugoslav wars, they wanted to do a statue to commemorate. But of course, no one could agree on what it was because everyone still hates each other.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, I think they just say, "Well, let's just do Bruce Lee because everyone likes Bruce Lee." So there's just a Bruce Lee statue.
Well, of course, I know that in Bosnia there is that statue of, what was his name? Professor something or other from the Curiosity Shop?
Mr. Megorium's Fantasy Emporium.
No, hang on a second.
Professor Layton.
No, from the one that we did a show about, Curiosity Shop, where there was the
Oh, you mean is
Baron
that the one
Balthazar? That was it. Yes.
Wait, Curiosity Shop. That's not the one where like they communicate with a guy via tape recorder?
That's the one. Yes.
Oh, the one where the girl is like, he's just incredibly stupid.
Yes. Who's Marcia?
All right, tone it down. You're just like Marcia. That girl was really she was really a ham. Though, you know what? I know I was like pretty down on her when he did our Curiosity Shop episode, but now I feel like I really get her.
Yeah. She like, she demands attention and she gets it. She
Yes.
knows what she's all about.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I get it. All right.
But anyway, yeah, here is the Professor Balthazar statue that stands in Zagreb today.
Oh yeah. I remember this guy.
Yeah. From the weird cartoon about how they invented Las Vegas.
Okay. Well, anyway. So we got, as we said, we got the Fantastic Four. There is so
you may recall that the Fantastic Four is Reed Richards, who is not called Mr. Fantastic at any point in this story, but instead he's just called Reed, and I'm just like, was any child named Reed at this point? Have you ever met a Reed?
No. I assume if you're named Reed, you probably gave yourself that name because you live in a hippie commune.
Yes, this is Reed and his twin sister Cattail.
Yeah, exactly. He's a nerd, though.
Yes.
So Reed is
he's
a nerd.
He's a big nerd this time. He was not so much of a nerd in the previous one. And, okay, one thing I think is sort of peculiar about this movie is that all of the personality happens in flashbacks. where we have it established that Reed is a nerd and Ben is his solid working class friend who is always there to help but doesn't have the smarts that Reed does. And they establish this when they're like 10 years old, and then we don't really get any more demonstration of it after they grow up. Then it goes straight to just plot point, plot point, plot point.
Yeah, it's that weird thing. Well, first of all, it's kind of they're like we need to. They're like, oh, Reed Richards is 10 years old and he's inventing a matter transponder between dimensions. It's like,
Come on.
I guess he's real. It's like, yeah, it's like I guess he's real smart. Okay, he's a kid genius, whatever. But yeah, and then we get the bit where he goes to the junkyard to get like a catalytic converter so that he can make his transmogrifier or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's how he meets Ben.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite thing in this movie is the fact that Ben's abusive stepdad says it's clobbering time when he beats up Ben. So
Yeah.
it's like it's kind of weird that you made that your catchphrase later in life.
It really is.
It's like, yeah, this is what my abusive dad used to say to me. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess he says it when he is, being violent.
Yeah.
So it's maybe I
mean,
guess
it was his
but it's just-
abusive brother, and then his brother got slapped by his mom for doing it. So clearly, this is a kid who grew up in a violent household. Not just to him. It's just violence all over the place.
Oh, was that his brother? I thought that was supposed to be his stepdad.
Because
He
I'm pretty
mentioned
sure
the
it was his
stepdad,
brother, but I
but-
don't know. Yeah.
Well,
He didn't look old enough to be a stepdad, but
Yeah, I did think he seemed a lot younger than Ben's mom. So,
Yeah.
But they mention a stepdad, which I guess he doesn't appear. We just assume that, of course he's from a broken family. That's how you know. That's how you know.
It's really
'Cause,
one thing I think is very strange is that neither this movie nor the other one have touched on one of the things that has become most iconic about Ben in at least the last 20 years or so. Once it became well known, which is that he's Jewish. And he is practicing Jewish. So this hasn't really, and it hasn't come up in either of these movies. It's probably going to show up in the new one, but we'll see.
Well, 2015 was another time. You couldn't be Jewish in Hollywood in those days. We've come so far.
Do you think it's at all relevant to the fact that every Fantastic Four movie has come out at the tail end of an 8-year presidency?
Huh. I had not thought of that.
2005, it was the tail end of Bush. It felt like, we were headed for, better things. 2015, it was the tail end of Obama. We were like, where the fuck do we go now? Tail end of, 2025, Trump is on his way out. What's going to happen? At least we hope Trump is on his way out. Jesus Christ.
Well, he is very old.
Yeah.
He doesn't look good. And I'm not going to say any more because you never know who's listening.
No.
Our 3 fans may include that FBI guy we're always talking about. So we're gonna play it safe. But no, that is a very good point because I do believe that every Fantastic Four movie does seem to, like every Star Trek series, kind of I guess it's like all media. It reflects the world in which it was made. And when you have a piece of media that is only made sporadically, you can really see the changes in the culture when you compare them. And I will say that, yes, this does feel very much like an end of Obama movie. Not just because, of the darkness, the idea that, we're heading into dangerous times, but much more than 2005, the idea of the tech is fun. Not
Yeah.
actual fun, but check it out. We got all this new tech. There's drones now,
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a drone at first. I thought I had to do a double take because I thought these guys. What happens in this scene is someone looks at the window, is like, "Hey, check this out," and everyone cranes their neck to look out the window, and then it looks like Johnny Storm blows up their plane. And then we cut back to the plane, and I'm like, what happened? And I had to, go back. It's like, oh, that was a drone. Oh, okay.
It's not. This is not a well edited movie.
No, it's on a Kroll level.
Yeah, without Kroll's charm. Um,
It
there
could use a
is.
Cyclops.
It could. Oh, I love the Cyclops. He makes me cry every time
Aw.
because he gave his life for his friend. Okay. Anyway, I always think it's funny when like the Cyclops is like, "We're friends now," and Ergo the Magnificent is like, "We are." Okay. I was not aware of this, but all right. But one thing that really kind of stands out to me about the vibe of this film is so basically what happens is, well, Ethan, you watched 2005,
Uh-huh.
and I saw it 20 years ago. So, but I feel like in this movie, 2015, it was much more of a like, oh, you have invented a thing, the U.S. government wants it and will have it. Whether
Right.
we will use it for evil. You have no say in this.
It's very funny that in 2005 Victor Von Doom was a tech bro, but in this one he's an incel.
Yes, they really. He's still like a super computer genius, but they really made him a lot more like, like I can't think of like he's much more of, like you said, he's incel. He's a little more like antisocial and can't fit in. He's like, I don't know. I think they were trying to make him a little more Steve Wozniak than Steve Jobs, but evil. I think that was the intention, but like, I don't know that it was very well.
I don't think they did well. No, I feel that they're no. The problem with this movie is that you never feel like they know each other.
No,
they spend so much time apart, and you get like a couple of scenes of them just like having a beer together and being like, "Ha ha, yeah, pal," and
yes.
But you don't hear their interactions unless they're being serious. And
yeah, they're not really a team.
No, they
like
only become a team at the very end. It's
yes.
one of those. It's one of those movies where now we have a plan. The plan is to have a plan.
Yes. Once again, the thing with superhero movies is they are just constantly like, hey, what's the origin of this? It's like, we know the origin. We don't need to see Spider-Man get bitten by the radioactive spider again. We don't need to see Batman's parents killed again. We don't need to see Superman shot into space again. We know how these guys started. Let them have other adventures. But not only the other thing about this that I thought was interesting, contrast in 2005, is that in 2015 they're not going to space. The America, who has, is like, oh, by the way, we have secret clandestine government things to do all this stuff. You're working for us now. It's very much like, all the bad guys in X-Files, they're good guys now.
Right.
And you, the audience, are not supposed to think about the implications of that. But they basically want to. There's another dimension where there's another Earth, a parallel Earth that is kind of a
same
I guess
planet, different dimension.
Yeah, think about it. Think about that. Think about the implications. Well, this other Earth, it seems to be kind of
Cue-Ball Wade and Professor Arturo.
and then you go there, you can say like, when's the next gate open? Well, the devil should I know. I don't know, cue ball, you tell me. But this other Earth seems to be in kind of a primordial state. It seems to be mostly like lava and rocks. It's not really. It doesn't look like it has developed.
It's like the part before the dinosaurs in Fantasia.
Yes, exactly. But what I found interesting about this is that when the America is like, we want to go to this planet, we want to go to this other Earth, because think of all the resources we could pillage.
I mean,
and which is
it's nice that they want to do that somewhere that's uninhabited.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not saying it's an unrealistic thing. I just think it's interesting compared to like, what was the reason for going to space in 2005?
In 2005, it was specifically because Reed wanted to study cosmic rays.
Okay,
And
so
cosmic
I feel
rays
like
are the origin for the Fantastic Four in the comic book, which, lest we forget, actually had the Fantastic Four going into space before before America went into space, and I think before Russia went into space.
beat those commies, but good.
Yeah.
Well, I think like it's interesting because like when you look at older stuff, like very often like yes, the purpose of things is knowledge or exploration or contact, whereas in 2015 it is literally just we want to extract resources,
Money.
and it really feels like a very modern thing. Like it feels like a part of this like the you know the just the I don't know. I don't know. It feels like just the way that things are going. How now we live in 2025. We live in America that has just decided to shed all vestiges of higher ideals. Like we don't stand for how we're built on this theory about democracy and freedom and tolerance and all that shit, which is always kind of bullshit. But it's the story we tell ourselves. We're not telling that story anymore. We're just about like the naked exercise of power and the extraction of wealth. That's what we're about now. There's no sugarcoating what it is. Who gives a shit? And I feel like 2015 again, you're seeing the beginning of this of us justifying this worldview to ourselves in things like because there is no higher scientific ideal to what's going on here. It is just pragmatic wealth extraction.
Yep.
So I don't know, like that really stuck out.
And even in the early scenes, it is clear that Reed's teacher, when he's a kid, laying out this plan, sees, he wants him to do the project over again because clearly there's no way to make money on it. And
yeah.
Did you notice that was Dan Castellaneta?
Homer Simpson?
That was Homer Simpson as his teacher.
Wow. Interesting bit of stunt casting there because he's not. Yeah, interesting. I did not know that was him. I actually just remember thinking, boy, the teacher sure looks a lot like Scott Adams.
Well, I hadn't seen a picture of Dan Castellaneta in about 30 years. He's older than he was then.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Well, it's good that he's working.
Yeah.
So,
especially since they don't have him being the genie anymore.
Oh yeah, that was a real blow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It's like I feel bad for him because it's not like he has any other gigs.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he can do Earthworm Jim anymore.
Oh man, it's just drying up. There's nothing. Poor guy. We should have him on the show. You know, just
Dan Castellaneta, come on our show. Talk about Fantastic Four and any of your other recent projects you may have done.
We're throwing you a bone because we know life is hard right now. You're just not seeing any. We're not going to pay you to come on the show, but but it's good exposure because so people finally know who you are. Because people are always saying Dan Casta who. What? I've never heard of this guy. Who is this guy? Well, you might, and we say, well, you might know him from such animated, luminous animated featured roles as Earthworm Jim and the Genie in Aladdin.
Not the one you're thinking of, the other Genie.
The other Genie.
Yes.
Like the episode where there's 8 genies. Everyone's favorite episode of Aladdin where where a genie gets hit by like a cosmic ray or something and it splits out the facets of his personality. So now there's there's genies, there's all these different genies, and each one of them is as annoying as 100 genies.
That's
it's amazing.
Right. Yeah, I remember. There's one genie that lies all the time. One that sucks up to Aladdin all the time. One that's like his feminine side, and then they made a couple more for the toys.
Oh yeah, well you gotta sell the toys. Yeah. I mean, wealth extraction. Anyway, so Dan Castellaneta is in Fantastic Four, which I did not notice.
No, the rest of the cast. Well, I mean, the one who really went on to good stuff is Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm. I did not realize, at first that this was not only Killmonger but also Smoke and Stack from Sinners.
Oh wow! I actually did not know that either. I am I'm bad with recognizing people because I'm
You know
stupid.
it.
Are any of the other people famous?
Let's see. Jamie Bell plays the Thing, but he's been on our show before. He was Tintin in the CGI Tintin.
Oh, well, he's moving on up.
Yeah. Let's see. And Miles Teller, you probably know him best from working with Penn, but
Mm-hmm,
no,
mm-hmm.
let's actually no. What else has he done? I guess he was in the Divergent movies, but I don't remember seeing those. Did you?
I did not see those.
No. Okay. Well, he was in all three of them. So,
Hmm.
and
I guess I
good thing he had
diverged from the
something to
movie
fall back
theater.
on after Fantastic Four.
Yeah, for real. Poor guy. Okay. There's let's see, there's a girl in this
There
movie.
is Kate
Uh
Mara, who I haven't seen a lot of the stuff she's in. Looks like the thing that she was in that I know the best was that she was Heath Ledger's daughter in Brokeback Mountain.
oh, okay. Good for her.
Yep.
I did not know that he had a
She was
daughter
in
in
The
that movie.
Martian, but it's been a long time since I saw that, and I don't remember what role she played.
She played the Martian.
Oh, she was Martian
Uh
Manhunter, of course. Another
yeah,
superhero
yeah,
movie.
not my favorite Martian. There's also, let's see. So that's our four mains. Oh, yeah, we mention Johnny Storm?
Yes, that was.
Okay. So what I like about our four main characters is that they all have one personality trait, and you know what it is because they do the thing they do in movies where the dad will come and yell at, like,
Yeah.
the dad will come out and be like, Sue, you've got so much potential if you just like loosened up, or like, Johnny, you got so much potential if you just straightened out, and like, Ben, you got so much potential if you did more clobbering. I don't know, it's that sort of thing. Or like, Reed, you got so much potential, but you're a loose cannon, like that sort. They just, um, so
Yes,
they,
the dad here is Reg E. Cathy, who this is funny. He's best known for various roles on Square One.
oh, I love that show.
I love Square One. Oh my god, and he was in Penn and Teller Get Killed. This guy rules.
Oh, hey, good for him.
Yeah.
I did not know that he was in Penn and Teller Get Killed.
If you've never seen Penn and Teller Get Killed, that's one of those ones that, as soon as you see it, you're going to look for someone else to watch it with again.
Yeah, it's a thinker. Now, let's see. So these four.
Oh, and Reed Richards' dad is Tim of Tim and Eric.
Oh, another
It
bit
is
of
a
interesting
very
stunt
minor
casting.
role, and you just mostly see him watching sports and flapping with his beer. But so I see why there's a little bit of stunt casting there.
Interesting. Well, all right. So then we also mentioned that there's Victor Von Doom is in this one.
Yes.
He's an incel. He's, always sitting in his dark room with his hoodie and being real mad because he was going to invent the portal dimension hopper, but Reed invented it first, and he's like, jealous of that or something. His thing is he's a jerk.
Yeah.
I guess they really keep trying to like be like, oh, just this weird kind of Dracula guy is just so silly. What if we just did something else with him? And it just keeps not working.
I mean, it would be really funny if if they did one that really focused on their college years and how Reed's roommate was this guy who had always behaved like a supervillain.
I mean, his name is Victor Von Doom.
Victor Von Doom,
I mean,
yeah.
come
Apparently, they
on.
wanted to change his name even in this. So, but
They
there apparently fan outcry kept that from happening.
Well, he okay. God, well, so there are Fantastic Four fans, which I guess is why they keep making these movies.
I mean, I am one. I mean, I didn't see this one before. I'd seen the previous one, and I saw Rise of the Silver Surfer.
I have not seen that one.
That's the one with Morpheus / Cowboy Curtis as the Silver Surfer, and he's pretty good.
Oh, Nice. Well, he's a fine actor.
He
He's a
is, yeah.
fine actor. I've seen him in movies.
Yes, that's the
Um,
one that everyone had a problem with because ostensibly the villain was Galactus, but I guess they felt that having, a giant dude in armor was too silly, so they made Galactus into like a cloud of nanobots or something.
all right, why again? Just superheroes. They're
You know,
silly. Just
why are we so, so childish about superheroes are not stupid? Here, yeah, I'll show you how stupid they are. I'll make them even stupider.
yeah. It's like I'm sorry. These things they are silly. Just go with it. They're
You know,
campy.
the the silly is part of the appeal, honestly.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, if we
Yeah.
wanted to read something that wasn't silly, there's plenty of other books out there, you know?
Yeah.
And lots of people do read both. So,
Yes, it's true. They live among you.
not every comic book reader is a comic book guy.
Yes. Now, I do like that, of course, they decide, I guess Sue Storm is also like she's a very classic girl character in
Yeah.
this kind of movie with that
She
she's
doesn't
like,
even
oh,
get to
good.
go on the journey. That really pissed me off for some reason.
Oh yeah, she stays home, but I guess she still gets zapped with the cosmic rays.
Yeah.
So, um, but I do like. Okay, so here's the thing: they invent the dimension hopper, and the U.S. government is like, "Good work, boys! Now we're taking over, and we're gonna send our guys, our boys in blue, or boys in green, whatever, some color. We're gonna send our boys, our guys. We're gonna send them to the other dimension." And they're gonna put the flag and be like, they're gonna be our Neil Armstrong. And Reed and his crew are all like real mad because they're like, nobody remembers who built like the spaceship. Nobody remembers NASA or those hidden figures.
I was
We
gonna
want to
say
be the
Hidden
first.
Figures, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We want to be the ones to like go to the other dimension. So they secretly get in the dimension buggy.
Yeah, and
And
how
they
do
bug
you how
off.
do you secretly get into something that is, something that is the size of an SUV and powered by something the size of an elementary school?
It feels that like the United States government is apparently doesn't really have very good security. Because the only one who notices this happening is like I think Sue gets a text or something.
Yeah, she sees it, pop up, and even the guy who is right next to her, looking at his own monitor, doesn't see anything.
Yeah, I do like, of course, she's doing again classic girl thing where it's like the boys are going to go have fun, and Sue is going to do the Marge Simpson thing where it's like, this is not to my taste, so I think no one should do it. And
And what's really kind of offensive to me is that the three boys working on this are Reed, Johnny, and Victor, and then they go and get Ben, who has not been part of it because he didn't have the scholarship. He's just been working in his dad's car factory or car repair shop or whatever, and they just go and get him to be another astronaut. I mean, the reason that he went in the first place in the comics is because he was the pilot.
No, they're just doing him a mitzvah.
I guess so.
I do like they're like, hey Ben, we'll let you come along. You could be like the mascot. Oh, by the way, Sue, who was involved, she's not coming. She's a real pill. um, so they go to the other dimension, but unfortunately, in the other dimension,
There's like lightning in the ground and it's bad for you?
yeah, I think that's what happens. Something bad happens, like some sort of power or electricity. Something goes wrong.
Yeah,
And
there's some sort of reaction to when they stick the flag in the ground, and it's kind of hard to tell what's happening to who because they're all wearing these spacesuits that completely cover their faces. So
Yes.
you have to have already memorized who has what eyebrows.
Yeah. But luckily, what I like though is that now that they're getting blasted by the space rays, they all their powers they gain all have something to do with what happens to them because
Well,
see Reed Richards, a rock falls on it, a thing falls on him and pins his feet, so he has to stretch, right? That's why he's all stretchy.
Yeah.
And the Human Torch, he gets set on fire, so he's now the fire guy. And Ben, what happens is a bunch of rocks hit him, so he turns into a rock guy.
And Sue gets hit with nothing, so she becomes invisible, I guess.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, exactly. I am honestly kind of obsessed with this rock thing though, because like they're like, get in the spaceship, and Ben is like, I can't close the door, it won't work. Oh no, I'm being hit by rocks. Ow, 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 ow. Like he's being pelted by them. Like there's a one of
They're
those like
rattling around inside like a gumball machine.
yeah, it looks like they got one of those tennis ball machines off stage and they're just like blasting him with rocks. Anyway, it turns him into a rock man, and now they return home, and suddenly we are apparently watching a different movie.
Yeah,
Like,
it becomes something very different. Where I mean, again, like, did they turn to superheroes? No, they turned into experiments.
yeah, it's like they basically go back to Earth. Oh, by the way, Victor gets abandoned. He's
Yeah,
dead. They
yeah,
think
he
he's
ends
dead.
up like falling off of a cliff and into this sea of electricity. So not going
Yeah.
to see him again.
Oh yeah, he's done. He's done for.
Yep.
He's gone. So they go back home, and now I guess what's happened is Reed Richards runs away, but like suddenly everyone else is like, oh yeah, we work for the U.S. government as like experiments now, and Johnny Storm is like, I love being a government stooge, and Sue is like, don't you know it's bad to be a government stooge? And Johnny Storm is like, you always told me to make something of myself. Get off my back. Now that I'm cool, you don't like me anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, like apparently these two have some sort of relationship that hasn't been established before this moment, but okay.
Yeah, I really feel like they could. I mean, it seems like a waste to put in the idea of a brother and sister who grew up together and, but are different races and not really touch on it at all.
Yeah. Well, very 2015,
Yeah.
because it's like, can we talk about race in America? No, we can't.
No, we can't.
We don't do that here. Look what happened last time we tried to talk about race in America. Did not go well. But they are now. Oh, Ben also like he's the Thing. I think he says something. He's like, I'm not Ben. I'm a Thing now.
I must have missed that because I never heard him. I was waiting for someone to call him a thing, and it doesn't happen until like the very end. Where
Yeah,
Johnny
it's
says,
pretty...
how about we call ourselves two guys, a girl, and a thing nobody wants?
Wow, what an asshole.
Dickbag. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, Johnny's kind of, I mean, I know Johnny's thing is being a dick, but he's really a dick in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny is a dick, but he should be a likable dick, because the thing is, he's also, he should be, a thorn in Ben's side, but also his best friend. So, they should have a Beetle and Sarge relationship, and you don't really get that here.
No, you mean Secret Lovers?
Oh, that would be good too, actually. But
yeah. How about that? I mean, if we had a Fantastic Four movie where they were brave, they could do that. They weren't cowards, but anyway. So I think. Wait. So now, if I recall correctly, basically what happens now is Reed Richards runs away to Venezuela or something.
Yeah, he's been on the run. We skipped to a year later, actually. So, the rest of them haven't yet mastered their powers and are in, still going through, painful rehab for their adventure. And Reed is, able to, squiggle his way around rubberishly to avoid the authorities. And he's building something, but we never find out what, and he doesn't get to finish it.
Oh, you're right. He just keeps saying he's going to build something to cure Ben, but I guess he never gets a chance.
Yeah.
And then I guess he got bored with it.
Yeah, then the next thing that happens is the government deploys Ben to capture him, which he does very easily, actually.
Yeah, oh, that's right, because they're mad at, like, Ben is mad at him now
Yeah,
for.
he thinks that Reed abandoned him when Reed has been trying to put something together to cure him for the last year or so. Also, the Thing is totally nude in this movie. Normally he
Oh,
wears shorts or something. This time, he's just going around, with full rock plate armor over, whatever genitals he may or may not have. We don't know anymore.
well, it's a whole new grid.
Yeah.
This is finally, we can show full frontal Thing nudity. You
Yeah.
can see the Thing's thing.
Yeah.
He,
And in the comics, it has always been established that apart from his exterior, he still works more or less like a human. He still eats and shits and stuff. So I
uh-huh.
don't know if they ever actually, said he shits, but he definitely eats.
Yeah, well, I would assume. I mean, generally, you assume if someone eats, they shit.
Unless it,
Um,
excretes it in the form of more rock plates.
I
I
mean
don't
that
know.
that boy, I guess it's possible. We really don't know much about the Thing
No.
now that I think about it, because again, the comic writers are cowards. But so they capture Reed Richards, they bring him back. I cannot
To make
remember.
him fix their mo- Model 2 uh, dimension hopper, and he says, "Oh,
Oh,
well, this will take
yes,
10 minutes. You just have to flip a couple of things." And
that's That's right. They want to go back to the they want to go back to the other Earth to get those resources
yeah.
that they've been
Oh no,
talking
now it's
about.
not about the resources. Now it's because they want to grant more people powers like these ones have.
Oh, okay. I mean, oh, they're gonna make super soldiers.
Yes,
Okay,
of
sure, why
course.
not? And this is I can't know. Is this good or bad? I'm not sure if they're good guys or bad guys, honestly, anymore. How does the
I
movie
don't
want us to
think they
feel
were
about them?
actually portrayed as good guys.
Yeah, I'm not really the movie. I just feel like I'm not sure how it wants me to think of these people. Because I feel like the movie is also kind of like they're the bad guys, but
They're the
we don't
bad guys,
want the.
but it would not be good to have the Fantastic Four leading a revolution and overturning the government.
Yeah, it's like wait for the Killmonger movie for them to do
Yeah,
that.
Killmonger.
Uh,
Did I
yeah,
tell me my theory about how he got that name?
how by killing stuff?
I think it's his Xbox Live gamer tag.
I mean, I have to say, if you're gonna give yourself a name, Killmonger's a pretty good one.
Yes,
Um, you're not beating around the bush there, and as we say, Killmonger did nothing wrong.
he did. Yeah,
I do feel like it is an interesting thing with Killmonger is whether or not you think he did anything wrong depends on whether you are capable of understanding media, because literally I remember going to see that movie and people were and I'm just being like, wow, Killmonger's got a point, like, and the people were just like, but he killed people. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, but did you
Sometimes
did
people
you
who have a point kill people.
yeah, did you watch the movie? I mean, it's just funny because it's like, oh, you're like, oh, he killed people, he's the bad guy. It's like, well, I feel like you really need to like listen to what's happening in the film, But people don't like paying attention to things anymore. Everyone
Sorry,
goes
what
to
was
the
that?
movies with their cell phones on, so.
Sorry, what? I was looking at my phone.
Well, that's the modern life for you. Screens everywhere. Why do we all look at screens instead of doing
The
something
Fantastic
else?
Four. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
instead of Fantastic Four. Why do we look at screen instead of food out the oven Fantastic Four? So they go back to this other planet, this other dimension. Would it surprise you to find out that Victor Von Doom is actually not dead?
yeah. He hasn't eaten or breathed anything for a year, but he's still alive.
That's right. He's a metal man now,
Yeah, they
I
keep
think.
doing that. It's like why do you have to make him a metal man? Why can't he just be a guy who made a suit? Is it because it's redundant with Iron Man? Is that why in this new continuity, you're going to actually fuse them and have Robert Downey Jr. come back as Doom instead of Iron Man?
I feel like this is more of their like, look, Doctor Doom is pretty silly. We are going to make him serious, and you can't take like a guy in a Dracula cape and a metal mask seriously. But I mean, the thing about Doctor Doom is he is probably one of the most theatrical supervillains that they
Yeah.
have.
Why
So,
why can't you lean into that?
yeah,
Honestly.
let him cook. Let him cook. You know, it's like, oh god, just another boring guy. Um, he comes and he's mad now, right? I think he's mad because he doesn't like being on this other planet and being a metal man.
No,
I think he
he wants to go
also
back to the other planet because he was able to, build it to his specifications apparently. So,
oh, so he's
he's like
wait.
he wants to be alone.
Oh wait, so I can't remember. They bring him back to Earth, and he's like, "Why did you do that? I liked the metal planet."
Yeah. And he has powers now, but they are so like nebulous that I have no idea what he can do. He can
Yeah,
like
they
kind of move stuff around with telepathy, but he can also make big blasts of energy, and he can also explode people's heads like scanners. He can do fucking whatever.
yeah. So he's a little bit overpowered, is what we're saying.
Yeah, I think what they wanted to do was have him have all the powers of the other four,
Hmm.
but I guess that would give him too much ability to counter them. But
Yeah, I guess they wanted to do that thing where they're like, only by working together can we stop Doctor Doom. Except he's not called Doctor
yeah,
Doom,
he's
is he?
just Doom. Yeah, they're
He's just Doom. Well, he's not.
again, it's
He's
like
not even a
we're not
doctor at
going to
this
call them by
point.
their names.
Yeah.
You can't make us. You can't make us. They're going to use
I mean,
normal names like normal people because this isn't a superhero movie. Don't call it that.
I guess at this point he's not even. He's in college, so he's just Mister Doom, if anything, young
Yeah,
Mister Doom.
he's Doom TA.
Yeah, he'd be like Mister Doom. Oh no, that's my father's name. Please call me Victor Vaughn. Um, okay,
No, they
again,
wanted to call
Victor
him
Von
Victor
Doom.
Domashev.
I think Victor Von Doom is funny because it
Yeah, it is.
implies that like he's from a place called Doom.
Oh,
Like,
it doesn't mean like Son of Doom.
no, it literally means Von is German for from.
Oh,
So
okay.
generally, it
Victor
would be
from
like if
Doom.
yes,
So
like I
instead of
actually
Latveria, he should be from the country of Doom.
he should be, exactly. It's like, but I'm assuming that they speak German in Latveria or a language that follows the same rules as
Yeah,
German.
I mean, you would think it was like Eastern European, possibly part of the Eastern Bloc, but they're really nebulous about that. I think they just make Latveria more like whoever we're at war with at the time. I seem to
It's kind of
recall,
yeah.
it being implied more recently that it was closer to Dubai.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but at that point, you're like really stretching the concept beyond. You're really doing violence to the concept because it's like Latveria. Oh yeah, it's real near Dubai. Come the fuck on. You already got like. Don't you have? I mean, you have more than one fictional country in your like fictional world. Don't you have like Carbomistan or something? I don't know. Just I'm sorry, but like Latveria is very clearly Eastern Europe, and you're just really going out of your way. It's like you suddenly decide that like Valverde is going to be in Africa or something, or what is it? What is the one? Wakanda is in Asia. Like, come on, you're getting crazy now. Uh,
Oh,
anyway,
like how in Prince of Space they went to Beaver Falls in Japan.
oh yeah, very that Japanese town we all know and love, Beaver Falls.
I have no idea if they even
Uh,
have beavers in Japan. I think they don't.
Probably not. They probably have to call it Tanuki Falls or
Oh yeah,
something.
they
You
might
know.
have.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, if they had beavers, they would probably be some sort of legendary Japanese beaver yokai.
Yeah, yeah, they're really big on that sort of thing over there. They love legendary yokais, and well, they should. They're delightful. Um, okay, so they defeat Victor Von Doom. I don't remember how, but I'm going to assume it's the power of teamwork.
Yeah, they basically they defeat him by saying, okay, the basically Richard has to no, not Richard. Reed has to regain Ben's trust enough for Ben to say, "So what's the plan?" So he can lay out a plan that involves all four of them doing the things that they can do together in order to knock Doom into this giant pillar of light that he's using to. I think they said that he was sucking up matter from Earth and pulling it through a black hole to this alternate Earth where he was converting it into energy. So he's basically making Earth into a battery. And
Yeah, he kind of looked like he's doing that thing they do. What is that video game where the Prince of Space is just rolling everything up like a big dung beetle?
oh, Katamari Damacy, yeah.
Yeah, it looked a little like that.
Yeah, it's a little like that. And after they're done, they're like, "Yay, we saved the Earth!" And then they look down, and there is this, enormous, chunk of the planet missing. So it's like it looks like the planet Ooh. So
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but it's also like, is it supposed to be funny? Because a lot of people died there,
a
you
lot
know.
of people died. You saw a lot of people getting, sucked up and engulfed by this thing and being literally converted into energy. And I don't think you hit the reverse switch on that. So
No, no. But you know what? It's fine. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. It's all fine. But yeah, so they win. They send him back to. Actually, no, they don't send him back to the thing. Don't they put him in like a box and they send him to Latveria or something? He's a statue now, or
oh,
is
that was
in
at the end of 2000, the 2005 movie.
Oh,
So
so they don't do it. What do they do with him in
no,
this
they just
2015?
straight up destroy him. No, as
Oh,
far as I
okay.
can tell.
Well, they're done with him. I guess they
He
weren't
gets
planning to do a
converted
sequel.
into energy, so maybe next time it'll be like a blue energy-based Doctor Doom, and then he'll split into a blue and a red one. I don't know.
Whatever. You know what? Fantastic Four. More like I don't know. What's a word that means bad that starts with an F?
More like Spastic Four.
There you go.
It's
You can't
really
say that
rude
in
if you're
England, though.
British.
Yeah, yeah. Don't say it over there. Oh, but again, who cares? They're British. What are they going to do about it?
No
Okay,
spastics,
so
please. We're British.
yes. Now they have defeated the villains or the villain, and they've formed the team.
They form a team, and they manage to talk the U.S. government into giving them this existing building in the middle of nowhere that isn't like the Baxter Building or anything that's established, as far as I can tell. And then they have this conversation where they're like, "Well, we should come up with names for ourselves because it would be like cool and stuff." And Ben is the one who ends up saying, "Yeah, it is pretty fantastic." And Reed kind of looks at him like, "Say that again."
I'm sorry. That's it. They're putting a lot of like gravitas in this name, but like it's not much of a name. I'm sorry. It's
And then
really
they never
not.
actually say the Fantastic Four. They just cut straight to the logo because God forbid anyone say something that comes from the comics.
I like how it's a weird thing where everything has to be from the comic. They can't fight a villain who's not Doctor Doom. They can't.
I mean,
like
why
have...
didn't you just make up a new villain for this? Honestly,
Yeah, like
if you're not going to
everything...
use Victor, if you're not going to use
Yeah.
Doctor Doom, you should have made it someone. I mean, there's got to be someone they fight who has like those kind of powers. I mean, why wasn't it, say, I don't know, the Absorbing Man or something, or the Molecule Man or something?
Molecule Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Is like everything in these comic book movies has to be from the comics. Like every incidental character, every see every building they see, every car, everything that they run across. It's like, it's a one-to-one of the comics so that the nerds can point at it and be like, I recognize that, but you can never actually acknowledge that it's from the comic or make it look or act or be anything like the comic, because that would be silly. So it's this very weird game of like keep away they keep doing in these movies.
But
and
I understand that you have to be a little bit you have to be a little bit coy with this stuff because, okay, if you saw a Scooby-Doo movie and in the first minute you heard da 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 puppy power, you'd be like, okay, movie's over. Good part happened already.
True. I mean, I probably am the one person in the entire world who doesn't hate Scrappy Doo.
Well, I mean, I don't hate him because I don't think he ruined the show. And I think the show was just as good with or without him.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, wait a second here. Yeah, because you thought it was terrible with or without him.
Roger, that is correct.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Fair. All right. I think he's fine. I understand his purpose in the show. I just, I don't.
No, I
I think
do
it's
think it's
funny that
very
people
funny
do that.
that I mean how much he upsets the balance of the show by actually being like, well, it's never a monster. It's always just some villain. It's like if they never let Toto pull the curtain away from the wizard.
Yeah. Well, that's why they had to do all these weird things now with like the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo
Yeah.
and the thing where Fred and Velma disappear for no reason. And I don't know, Shaggy changes his shirt, so now he's got a red shirt. All sorts of
What is it with
weird
you with the red
stuff.
shirt? Who the hell cares what color his shirt is?
Excuse me, Ethan, this is very important Scooby Doo deep lore about
I,
Shaggy's shirts.
I guess. I mean, I would be. Oh, who's green? I'd be mad if the Constructicons were red. So yeah, sure.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. See, dig
But they
this
were,
crazy
and I
broom
was mad.
closet.
So
Well.
fucking
Yeah,
Michael
but
Bay. God damn it, can't get anything right.
Ethan. But you have to understand, Transformers are a child's toy. This is nonsense for children, not like Scooby Doo, which is important stuff for sophisticated adults and men of consequence. Oh, no, Scooby Doo is pretty stupid.
No, I mean, that's just, that's how Generation Xers think of him. But as, a young, hip, and with it millennial, he's like, that's for your dad.
Yeah. Yeah. Scooby Doo. That's your dad's cartoon.
Yes.
Um, okay, so the Fantastic Four, they have saved the day. They have come up with a title for their team, and the movie ends. The movie's
Yes.
over.
The movie
Um,
ends, and immediately plans for the sequel are canceled.
yeah, as well they should be, because I think this is my personal theory. I think movies should be good. I think they should
What?
entertain. Yeah,
See, yeah, I
know.
mean, that's because this is the thing about Hollywood is that making a bad movie, they're like, everyone does that. Whatever. Making a non-profitable movie, that is the kiss of death. They don't care if your
Yeah,
movie is good or bad as long as it makes its budget back.
yeah, and I guess this one didn't. I
No.
wonder why.
I mean, actually,
Um,
it did, but like not, not enough. I mean,
mm,
worldwide total of $167 million against a production budget of 120 million. Oh, estimated 200 million, including marketing and distribution costs. So yeah, it lost about 33 million after they way overspent on marketing, just like Dick
well,
Tracy.
oh, they spent it all on marketing, and because they were like, if people knew about this movie, they would want to see it. Nope.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe. I guess. I don't know. I don't think people are going to gel with this sort of film. I think that you
yeah.
should try making good films, and maybe people will go see them. If they're good,
Yeah, it
maybe
has.
have some faith.
The president of Fox at the time blamed the impressively bad opening day on bad reviews and a tweet by the director that blamed the studio for the poor reviews. So
You know what? Everyone, it's a poor craftsman who blames his tools.
I it's important to remember that that is what the production company is. It's tools,
Yeah,
a
this is
whole
the
bunch of tools,
real big tools.
an office of tools. Oh, we're starting to lose the metaphor here. But
Yeah. Well, I think that I would say that I think that the 2005 is probably slightly better just because at least it's not this much of a slog. It's
yeah,
just kind of dull,
I mean,
but
it's a very generic superhero movie. I feel like the Fantastic Four deserve better, and they still haven't done Doom right, but you know, in the 2005 movie, every character had a lot more personality, but in this one, they have history to make up for it.
right,
Like you
right.
have Like, they established the whole, Brainiac versus working class thing with Reed and Ben through their dialogue in the 2005 movie. And the 2015 one, we just show their histories, and then after that, it's just plot, 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 and we would get a lot more. Oh, also the whole thing with Johnny is that it really feels like, okay, I forget. Did you ever read Save the Cat?
I've heard of it.
Okay, Save the Cat has some would blame it for ruining the movie industry in that it actually laid out the algorithm, but I don't think it's the problem is Save the Cat so much as that the studios tend to treat Save the Cat as a list of checkboxes that you have to include. It's just suggestions, people. You don't have to hit every single box in Save the Cat. But Save the Cat mentions something called too much marzipan, which is their
No such
word
thing.
for when you're establishing something and then you keep layering it. I'm not sure how to. I'm not sure how to describe it apart from the way Johnny works is that they have him catch on fire more than once. He
He's the
catches on
fire
fire
guy.
even before he becomes the Human Torch a couple of times.
Well, I think they were like, look, we have to have the audience understand, even though he's this is a black guy, his powers are not electricity based. They're fire based. So we need to really hammer that home because it's so unusual, you know.
The Human Welding Torch.
Yeah, because I think we're actually who was it who pointed out that like it seems that happens fairly often that like black characters have electricity powers.
Yeah, I think I did point that out to you on this show. That you've got Static Shock, you've got Storm, you've got Black Vulcan, you've got the movie version of Electro. It's a weird thing, but when you think about it, you think, okay, think of the experience of being African American and think of the various powers that you can have. The various established powers, and you're just like, water powers. It's like, oh, isn't that what Killmonger was talking about bodies being thrown into the water? Ooh, let's not talk about that. Fire powers? Ooh, let's not talk about that. Electricity powers? Oh, that doesn't have any roots in America's colonial violence. Let's go with electricity powers.
Okay, yeah. I can see the logic of it all. Okay, so yeah, I do not recommend 2015's Fantastic Four. It's not fantastic. It makes me fantastic.
I do not recommend it either, but it was, it's one of those things where it's kind of, it's especially disappointing because it keeps feeling like it was about to curve over into being good, and it never did. It's so
No.
close.
It tried.
I can't say that there wasn't an effort being made there, but according to the director, there was also an effort being made to make it worse, and that one won.
Well, isn't that always the way? Fucking studio meddling. Oh, well, yeah. All right.
Of course,
well,
but if you didn't have the studio, then you wouldn't be making a Fantastic Four movie. You'd be making an original superhero movie, which is exactly what he got hired for when he made the original superhero movie Chronicle a few years earlier. And this just feels like a bad remake of Chronicle.
Yeah, I remember Chronicle. My wife was really into it because she was into one of those actors for a hot minute.
Was he one of her Monomania guys?
Yeah, it was. What's his name? The guy, one of the white guys.
One of the white guys, yes.
Dane DeHaan. I forget his character's name, but she was really into him for like a hot minute. Anyway, I don't remember. I do not remember particularly liking Chronicle, but at least it was better than this movie. So if you're gonna pick one, go watch Chronicle.
Yeah.
It's a Chronicle. All right. Anything else we should say about Fantastic Four?
I mean, so by now I have admitted to being a Fantastic Four fan a couple of times on this show, and a bunch of people are probably like, "Well, why?" I mean, that's the thing. some comics work better as comics. I mean, I
Yeah.
am going to see this new Fantastic Four movie, and I'll let you know what I think. Honestly, it,
All
it
right,
looks like
everyone,
it's
Staples.
coming from a better place in that it's not yet another origin story. In fact, it starts with Reed and Sue, well, not just married, but soon to have their first child, Franklin, who is a major figure in the story. So,
Wait,
and
isn't that Johnny's dad?
uh, well,
Oh, is he named
he's
after
named after
Johnny's
Johnny's
dad?
dad, or maybe Johnny's dad was
Oh,
named after him. I don't know.
okay, that makes yeah, I get it. I'm my own grandpa. I get it.
But yes, you may remember Franklin Storm used to be a member of the all kids superhero team Power Pack,
I did not remember that.
whom you might remember from that PSA that would run on in Marvel Comics, where it says Power Pack and the Amazing Spider-Man talk about childhood sexual abuse.
Oh, I do remember that. I had that comic when I was in fourth grade.
Yep.
I don't remember the Power Pack bit. I do remember the Spider-Man
Yeah,
comic
Spider-Man
though.
was there, and he said, "And remember, it's not your fault."
That's right, because Spider-Man, like he barges in like this kid, his babysitter is all like, "You gotta take your clothes off," and
Oh,
which
I don't
what?
think we're thinking of the same thing.
That's what happens, right? Oh, did I lose you? Well, anyway, so Spider-Man.
Oops, you there?
Yeah, hi. You cut out right when I was telling you about Spider-Man.
Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to tell you that this isn't what I saw at all.
Oh, wait. So you had a different child sexual abuse comic book with Spider-Man and Power Pack?
Uh, yes, it was a single page image. Here,
Oh,
I
all right.
will,
What did Spider-Man do?
I will share
Let's
it
see how.
with you. Yes,
I can't
it's
believe that there's multiple.
it's not a
Okay, let's
comic.
see.
It's a PSA that would run in different in other comic books, where
Oh,
it has.
I am thinking of something completely different.
Yes, here is Power
Because,
Pack and the Amazing Spider-Man with tips on ways to prevent sexual abuse. Where Franklin
well,
says, "Your body belongs to you, and you have a right to decide how and when anyone touches you." And
yeah.
someone who is
Mhm.
dissolved into mist says, "If somebody tries to touch you in ways that don't feel good or seem right, say no." And a girl with pigtails that Franklin is carrying bridal style says, "Yeah, be sure to tell somebody too." And somebody who is flying along as with a rainbow for a tail, like she's all three Powerpuff Girls at once, says, "And don't forget, if the first person you tell doesn't believe you, keep telling until you find someone who does." And then Spider-Man swings along at the very bottom and says, "And remember, if this happens, it's not your fault." This is all very good advice.
Yes. This is yeah. I cannot fault them for these things. Thank you, Spider-Man, for your service.
Yes.
Um, okay, because well, this is different. Because when I was in fourth grade, I received a comic, a short comic, which I believe everyone in the class received it, in which Spider-Man he's swinging around, you know, from the buildings as he does, and he overhears that there's like in one of the buildings there's this kid who's crying, right? And it's like a little boy, and his babysitter is there, and she's all like, "Now remember, you can't tell anyone what happened." And Spider-Man comes in, and babysitter is like, "Cheese it, the cops! Remember what I said!" And she runs out and abandons the kid. And Spider-Man's like, "What happened?" And the kid is like, "Well, my parents have said, left, and Mary is babysitting, and she, she's always like really usually pretty cool with babysit, but this time she said, oh, I can't play." I was like, "Let's play Cowboys and Indians," and she's like, "Okay, but first you have to take your clothes off." And Spider-Man is like, "This reminds me of the time that I was molested," because
It's
um,
it's interesting that he can be so open about it, but I mean, he's probably had a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah, yeah. It was. Oh, it was when Spider-Man was a young man. When he was a younger man, he apparently he met this he met this guy. He was a friend of his.
Skip. I
You know,
found it. Yeah.
oh yeah, Skip. Yeah, he looks kind of like he's called Skip because he kind of looks like the skipper a little bit. You know,
and
and
he,
they're good.
and he
They're
calls
good
Peter little
pals.
buddy.
Yeah, they're good pals. Except then one day Skip was like, "Oh, come over to my house. You can have a few beers and like look at girly magazines." And Spider-Man's like, "Gosh, golly, oh, I feel weird looking at these porno magazines." And Skip's like, "Yeah, you want to try touching each other like they do in those magazines?" And I remember at the time reading
Wow.
this and just being like, I feel like I have a pretty good memory for what's actually in the comic, Um, but I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something a little. Uh, you know
Uh,
what? I don't know how common these situations are in terms of sexual abuse. I
fr-
I I,
as I
I don't know.
understand it, like 9 out of 10 sexual abuse cases come from the family, as opposed to, a babysitter or even a stranger. So
Yes.
the stranger danger panic of the '80s was not well founded, but I guess I guess I can't fault it either because how do you tell kids you can't trust your mom and dad because they are 9 times more likely to molest you than a stranger.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing is, this particular comic, the way it was set out, where like, oh, Spider-Man's like, oh yeah, I was a young adult, and an older gay man came onto me. It's got this very unfortunate kind of like, mental hygiene film, The Homosexual
Yeah,
feel to it, where it's like, I don't think that was really I don't. Well, I mean, this comic was from what, the '80s,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think. So, I mean, it's not like we had enlightened attitudes towards,
yeah. I mean, this was
homosexuals in those days.
yeah. I mean, this was during the time when Reagan was going out of his way to ignore AIDS completely. So
Yeah, what a dickbag. Fuck Ronald Reagan.
yeah,
I
that's
guess
not a
we're
joke.
lucky. No, I guess it's a good thing we got any comic teaching kids not, how not to be sexually molested, or I mean, not how not to be, but what to do in these situations. And you know what? Good for Spider-Man for saying it's not your fault.
Hmm.
Good on that. I can't fault that. I'm
I found the
for
comic,
for
and it
that.
includes Spider-Man taking the boy away from his babysitter and swinging over to this fancy party that his parents are away at. And I absolutely love that the way they establish that this is a fancy party is that there's a guy in a sweater who says that reminds me of a New Yorker cartoon.
Oh, so droll, so droll. It's the talk of the town.
Yeah, and this woman is looking absolutely horrified as a little frog pushes its way out of the kitchen.
Just imagine that, like, I'm like, I'm Eustace Tilly, like looking at it with my monocle and my giant weird neck brace. That oh,
Bravo, Mrs. S.
I once went to New York, right?
Me too.
And I saw the New Yorker building, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta go in there. And I ran in, and I was like, is this the New Yorker? And they were like, yes, it is. And I was like, I gotta see it. And they're like, oh, you probably think a lot of crazy stuff happens here, but it's just a magazine. And I was real sad. But the door opened, and I saw Eustace Tilly writing his penny farthing around, and I was like, I'm never washing these eyes again.
My God, yeah, that's exactly like what happened. That's exactly like what happened when I went to see the offices of Cricket Magazine. My parents tell me that I just spent a couple of days under the house with the bugs, but I know better.
You know Chester when you see him. Well, this was much more entertaining than actually watching the Fantastic Four.
That's for
So,
sure.
well,
Sometimes if you need your comics buzz, just read some comics. It's okay. It's okay to read comics. You don't have to pretend you don't to make a superhero movie. I mean,
they
we all
words
know
of
how
wisdom.
embarrassing it was when Tim Burton said, "Well, I would never read a comic book."
Bet he's eating those words now.